Rising, everyone. Oops, let me just click. I can't click the right one. I have to rename my scene so I figure out which one it is. There's the one I want. That's the one. Hi. Hi. Thank you all for being here. It is so good to see you. And today is Moonday, May 30th, 2022. Grand Rising. Welcome. Welcome. Let me say hello, hi, to everyone in chat. Sherry Ives, Rune Dragon, JM, Stephanie Martin, Jeff Chapman, Glowbusters, hi Bob. Shout out to Bob. Bob, who detected, what was it? Oh, I can't even remember right now. I'm not even going to try because I'll say it wrong. Stephanie Martin, Guideline Strike, Barry Rose, Brian S. Staveley, Josh Horn, Unindoctrinated. It's like the music you hear when Showcase Showdown is being announced. I don't know, I'll have to go back and listen to it. I like my upbeat coffee shop intro music. Kind of like, it's like, hey, it's perky but not too perky. You know? It's coffee shop music. Juan Torres, Mojo Shop, Mark Wantraba, Matrix, Exit, Rune Dragon. Did I say that already? Probably. Wow, there's a bunch of you in here talking. Hi, Valley Parks. Good to see you. Tom Budis, Mike D for Life, and Voynit. All right, on Rockfin, Tom Etchison. Good to see you. Mother Dragon, Brian Staveley again, Cold Brews, Rob Cleveland, Mark Wantraba, Psyop within a Psyop, Rachel Hilgert. I forgot it was Monday. How many of you forgot it was Monday today? How many of you forget it's Monday until you see my alert? That's funny. Is that how you know the days of the week? It's being reported that lights will be falling from above. What do you mean lights will be falling from above? That doesn't sound like a good thing. Well, maybe, I guess it could be. Hey, Free Flow. You want to challenge the NASA to have an astronaut wear a green t-shirt on the ISS? Have you ever seen one? Has anybody ever seen well, let me ask you this. Because you could do green screen or blue screen. So have you seen a green shirt and a blue shirt at the same time on the ISS? What do you think about that? What is that garbage? Anyway, how are y'all doing? Let's see. Today is Monday, Moon 30th. We're currently in a new moon phase, so there's no moon right now in the sky. Let's see. When did that start? Yesterday. So, be a couple days before we see the moon again. Well, it says 1%. It gets to 1%, 2% on the evening of the 31st. So that would be early light. Well, yeah. In the evening of Tuesday evening, you should see if you can see the sliver of the first of the moon again, and that marks the first day of the new moon. So that should be Tuesday evening. Yeah. I won't be able to see it because it'll be too low on the horizon for me, and I have too many trees that block my view. So I don't know if you guys can see that, or you have a large field of view, you should be able to spot it Tuesday evening, and if not, early Wednesday. Like, for sure, early Wednesday, which will be June 1st. And that is the beginning of the month. Oddly enough, they might coincide, which they don't really coincide very often if you follow it by the actual sky clock and look at it compared to the date. Wrong saloon, buddy, that's right. Alrighty, well, there's quite a few things we can talk about today if y'all want. Quite a few directions we can go in. I've been checking the news, and well, you know, the fake news. It says that Nancy Pelosi's husband got arrested for a DUI after he crashed in Napa. I don't know if you guys saw this. How funny is that? I mean, you know, let's see. We'll do share screen. Nancy Pelosi's husband arrested for DUI. Avoids mentioning incident in Sunday appearance. Oh. Paul Pelosi, 82. Wow. Arrested before midnight on Saturday in Napa County. Was sent to jail on 2 counts. Driving under the influence. Driving with a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher. I'm not going to pay to read the rest of that stupid article. I mean, that's the gist of it. You know. I just think that's funny. And what do you think's going to happen to this guy? First Star Wars in the news? What? I don't know what you're talking about, Brian. What do you mean the first Star Wars is in the news? Can you be more specific? At that point, you're just distracting me with that comment. Hold on. I am going to... I forgot to set up my phones. The phone lines. So... let's see. One sec. Alright, I gotta reroute my sound. Because I put the sound out through the speakers when I'm not doing stuff, and then I forget to put it back when I have to go stream. Alright. Anyway, now we're good. That phone number down there is my call-in number. It is 848-222-2480. And it's always open. And when I see you and when I get to you, I can answer the call. You can listen to me while you're on hold. If you would like, please, if you do call, just mute your watch page and listen so you're up to speed with me and you're not listening to the stream. Because you'll hear everything through the line when you call in. What am I listening to? I'm not listening to anything. You guys are listening to, well, it's my coffee shop music, my coffee shop background music. That's what it is. UFOs uptick on science tabloids. Yeah, I know. I've been saying that for a few weeks now, that they're pushing the UFO thing again. And actually, too, I did see an alert come through on Rockfin from Freeman Fly where he's saying that alien agenda is like, it's like speeding up. So let's see. Let's search for alien in the news and see what it says. Alien versus Aliens, Alien 3, Alien versus Predator. What are the chances we've been visited by aliens 5 days ago, from the Washington Post? Conclusions of the U.S. congressional hearing on UAPs, formerly known as UFOs, is an opportunity to take stock of where matters stand on a question that has captivated humankind for centuries. Have we been visited by aliens or not? On this question, the hearing was by no means definitive. Of course it's not. Of course it's not. First and most important lesson is that many cases of UAPs, which stands for unidentified aerial phenomena, and they ditched the whole UFO thing. What do you guys think about their reasoning behind not calling it UFO anymore and switching it to UAP? I feel like they switch it to UAP to sort of, because we have a very prominent person who's a flat earther who makes videos who's called UAP. So if you search UAP, what are you going to get? First on the search engine, you're going to get unidentified aerial phenomenon, of course. I feel like they do stuff like that on purpose, even though they had been using UAP for a while. I get it. But it was always referred to as UFOs. And now they switched it to UAP. That's just my opinion. I don't know. I think they did the same thing with Black Swan. Around the same time that they came up, that those guys over there were calling that photo a Black Swan. And then they like waged war on us and everything because we weren't hip to their scheme. Whatever. So, anyway, way back when they started calling that picture of the oil rigs the Black Swan, right? Then at the same time, mainstream news put out articles calling what was happening in the economy the Black Swan. Right? So if you search Black Swan, you're not going to get the flat earth proof or that whole discussion. You're going to get, oh, what's wrong with USA's economy? Like, they do stuff like that. They know they're watching us. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, that's just my opinion. I don't know what you guys think about that. I mean, they know how to manipulate the algorithms and what things to use and what we're looking at currently. Do female menstrual cycles relate to the moon cycles? Sometimes. Mine did for a while. I used to get mine on the full moon pretty regularly there for a little bit. But now, not so much. Doesn't really have anything to do with that. I don't know. UFOs were like discs before, and now there's something different. Yeah. Evolve with the technology they put forth. Yeah. Oh my god, you guys. Speaking of, so they're calling UFOs UAPs now, which is okay, whatever. They've been doing that for a while. The evidence is from multiple sensor sources, including photography, and supported by numerous eyewitness accounts. The U.S. government is coy on its other sources of sensor measurements, but has stated that the same technology that is detecting UAPs is also used for routine intelligence purposes. So they're saying all the stuff that they use to spy on the world, like everybody, that's what they're detecting their UAPs with. Well, duh. What else are they going to see it with? Of course they're catching all that shit with their surveillance equipment. And it's highly likely that they are the ones behind the UAPs. That's just my opinion. Don't expect more details anytime soon. Nevertheless, it's safe to say the recent conversations with knowledgeable people have led me to believe that the US government has standard radar and satellite evidence of these phenomena. If these moving vehicles were pure phantoms, not showing up in any other sensor readings, why would the government have held these hearings in the first place? It would have been easier to simply dismiss UAP reports and move on. There are popular YouTube videos by Mick West, a prominent debunker of pseudoscience. I mean, come on. Come on. Does everybody remember the whole thing with Mick West and his stupid bullshit metabunk website with his Earth curve calculator that has a 7/6R calculated into it for standard refraction, even though there is no such thing as standard refraction, and we have proven time and time and time and time again that there is no such thing as standard refraction, and that there are multiple influences on what you can see and how far you can see at any given time, and that more often than not on a clear day there's absolutely no reason to speculate or use a 7/6R Earth curve calculator, which is bigger Earth. That means that it is 1/6 bigger than the actual, what they say the actual Earth is. Okay, they give a calculator where they make the Earth bigger to try to debunk flat Earth, and then we could still see farther than that stupid calculator. A prominent debunker of pseudoscience. He's been debunked so many times. His stupid metabunk bullshit has been shown to be complete and utter nonsense time and time and time again. I can't even believe they're whatever. I mean, I guess I can because these are people. That's why this dude right here, like when you guys talk about the shill, when people throw out the shill word, okay, this is one of the people I think about. Okay, I think about this guy. A prominent debunker of pseudoscience with his bullshit 7/6R calculator, standard refraction. Ha! Ha! Anyway, suggesting that Navy videos of UAPs flying at hypersonic speeds reflect human and camera errors. Yet the US military and intelligence sources are not endorsing that hypothesis, even though it could make their lives easier, so it seems unlikely. Recall that several decades ago, videos exposed Uri Geller's magic tricks rather quickly. So Mick West is trying to debunk their UAP videos and say that they're not even real. Look, well, I don't know if they are or not, but he's not gonna figure it out. He for sure is not gonna figure it out. Yeah, right, Nora? They couldn't afford to pay another operative other than Mick West. Are they even paying him? All this said, there is a hunger for understanding the UAP phenomenon. The problem is that there isn't nearly enough evidence to conclude these are spacecraft of alien origin, so a lot of people dismiss these stories altogether. But the question is not binary. What if we thought about it probabilistically? Probabilistically. More specifically, what are 3 best reasons to think UAPs might be of alien origin, and what are 3 best reasons for thinking this is quite unlikely? At the end, I'll give you my probabilities, and I hope you will think carefully about yours. Okay, this is good. So he's going to give us pros and cons? Is that what this is like? Like the pros and cons? Alien visitation of Earth is to be expected. The case for, this is the case for alien visits. Alien visitation of Earth is to be expected. Here, let me see if I can enlarge this for you guys. So we're just supposed to assume we're just supposed to assume that aliens are going to be here, right? That we just have to, because obviously we're a ball in infinite space, right? Revolving around this star, and there's a whole bunch of other stars. We can see them in the sky. There's a whole bunch of other stars. We could see them in the sky, and we have already detected other Earths revolving around other stars out in the sky Didn't you see those pixelated little pixel images that they put out by NASA? They were kind of black and white and blurry, and they're really hard to decipher. But clearly, those are other Earths rotating around and revolving around other stars, and they must have alien life on them if we have life. So it is to be expected, therefore, it is to be expected that aliens will visit Earth. Philosophers, astrophysicists, and others love to debate what is called the Drake equation, which concerns how many advanced alien civilizations are out there. Our galaxy arguably has between 100 billion and 400 billion stars, and we are discovering new potentially habitable planets all the time. All the time, you guys. All the time. Given how advanced human civilization is on Earth, you might expect some even more advanced civilizations elsewhere. In the galaxy, ones which have the ability to send messages to other solar systems. Right? Otherworldly, right? Even if you find the prospect of interstellar alien civilizations highly unlikely, there are so many candidate stars and planets that it probably has happened at least once. At least once! Those civilizations can simply send out some self-replicating solar or nuclear-powered drones. Nuclear-powered drones, no little green men required, and hope some of them end up somewhere interesting. There's plenty of debate about the right numbers to plug into the Drake equation, and thus the number of potential interstellar civilizations. Whatever. Where are they? One possible answer is that aliens already have shown themselves to us, if only in the form of uninhabited drone probes. Uninhabited drone probes, you guys. That's what they are. All right. Alternative explanations do not hold up. So aliens. So it now seems unlikely that the recordings are picking up secret, high-powered experimental craft of the Russian Air Force. Just ask Ukraine. Just ask Ukraine, you guys. They know everything about what Russia's doing. They know. They got Russia by the balls, man. Support Ukraine. They're fighting our fight. I mean, how much propaganda bullshit can they fit in one article? Are you guys seeing this? I mean, they're just shoving it all in there. All of it. Washington Post. And given that the Nimitz recording and sighting dates back to 2004, should we really think there are advanced Chinese vehicles? Although the U.S. military has had increasingly frequent interactions and near misses with Chinese military vehicles in the South China Sea, they don't seem anything like the UAP reports, many of which are based in the Atlantic. Okay, so it's not Russia, and it's not Chinese, and it's not us, right? It's not the U.S., it's not us. So aliens. Oh boy. Another common hypothesis has been that the recordings are picking up a secret advanced vehicle from some other hitherto unknown part of the US government. If so, again, why hold these hearings in the first place? But if it's the government, why would we hold hearings? Well, we wouldn't hold hearings about it if it was us. We would just tell you guys, right? We tell you the truth all the time. We're on your side. We're here for you. If so, if the secret branch has the sources to produce such aircraft, wouldn't someone have stepped forward by now? Wouldn't they? Wouldn't it be at least an active rumor? Oh, because it's not an active rumor? It's not an active rumor that it's the US hiding technology? That's not an active rumor? Right, okay. Or couldn't someone in the secret operations branch call up a friendly senator or two to get the hearings called off? In fact, last week's congressional hearing rejected this explanation outright. Oh, of course! Of course! It is also hard to believe this is all an elaborate US psyop against the Russian or Chinese. For the U.S. to admit so brazenly that it doesn't know what's going on in its own backyard hardly seems calculated to scare or intimidate. Come on. It's like, really? They think you're stupid. They think you're really stupid. Are you seeing how this is like completely ridiculous? They're telling you that it's an elaborate U.S. psyop against the Russians or Chinese, like it would be against another country or a government. That still pushes like this country versus that country bullshit. It is not this country versus that country. It is the 1% versus everybody else. It's the 1% fooling, lying and deceiving and shitting all over everybody else, toying with you, playing you like pawns on a chessboard. Some top US leaders seem to think aliens have visited us. Okay, our highly respectable and always honest and above reproach US leaders think aliens have visited us. So, therefore, aliens. Right? I mean, it's just so stupid. The U.S. military has drones that use night vision technology to do scouting and reconnaissance prior to sending live troops. Of course they do. Yeah, we've seen those videos. We've seen the drone. Been watching come on. Well over a decade back in the early 2000s, we were seeing this drone video. Come on. They've been having that for a long time already. This is not new. Far from new. Former CIA Director John Brennan raised this possibility when I interviewed him in 2020, while former Presidents Bill Clinton and Barack Obama, two very fine, upstanding, honest gentlemen, have noted that alien visitation is a possible cause of the unusual measurements and sightings. Remember when Bill Clinton said he was going to go see, he wanted to know if the aliens were real, and he said it on the night show? Like, what a joke. To be clear, Obama and Clinton don't seem to consider alien visitation as the primary hypothesis, but maybe the US government asked former leaders to make supportive and open-ended public statements about the possibility of aliens so that it does not look unprepared if and when they do show themselves. If and when. And Clinton and Obama agreed, and who's supposed to know better than they do? Who knows better than the presidents? The leader of the free world. They know everything. They know all the top secrets, right? They are just in the know. They know it all. Oh, I know. I know there's people all over will read this and believe it. They'll fall right into it. And this is all designed to, control their thoughts, because think about it. I mean, this whole article is really, really designed to control people's thoughts about things. It's talks about the military, hidden military stuff, the debunker, Mick West, what else is in here? The presidents, the top leaders think aliens have visited. And it's never even asking the right questions, right? It doesn't ask the right questions. And it's totally controlling people's thoughts. Anybody who doesn't, think very deeply, their thoughts are going to be 100% controlled by this article. They're going to be thinking about and wasting energy on complete and utter shite. Shite. Just pure shite. It's nothing good is going to come from anybody thinking deeply about any of the crap in this article, because it's all a distraction. Right? Some top US leaders seem to think aliens have visited us. Not one of these 3 points is a knockout argument, of course, or close to it, but they keep alien contact hypothesis viable. So what about the other side? The case against visits by aliens. Okay, let's see. Alien sightings remain relatively rare. Let's say alien drone probes can make it here. That would imply the existence of a very advanced civilization that can span great distances and command energy and remarkable efficiency. If that's the case, why isn't the sky full of aliens? Why aren't there sightings from more than just military craft? So the question is not so much why don't we see aliens as why don't we see more of them? It's a perfectly valid and embarrassing question. Why is that an embarrassing question? On one hand, the aliens are impressive enough to send craft here. On the other, they seem constrained by scarcity. I mean, how ridiculous. And yes, and they must, exactly. If we are aliens and we just forgot. How could we be aliens? How does that even make sense? I mean, we live here on Earth, right? And it's like the perfect environment for us. We're happy here. It's got great temperature, oceans, beach, mountains, forest. It provides everything we need. And there's lots of medicines, herbal medicines here that benefit us. So if we are alien to this place, why is everything here benefit us? Why is there so much here that's good for us to keep us alive? See, we can't be alien. It just doesn't make sense. If we are humans like those, let's see. Are we humans like those bears filmed in the Richard Attenborough nature programs, worthy of periodic visits from drone cameras, but otherwise of little interest? The reality is that bears, and indeed most other animals, see humans quite often. If you believe aliens are real, okay, here's two. If you believe aliens are real, then you should be prepared to believe that religious miracles are real too. Most Americans believe in God, and many millions of them believe in angels and other forms of religious miracles. For the record, I do not. I do not know how many Americans who believe in aliens also believe in angels, but I suspect the ratio is lower than it is among the population at large. Yet a belief in alien visitation is just as unusual a hypothesis as the belief in religious miracles. Really? Come on, that's not true. Once we open up the box to consider non-scientific explanations for UAPs such as space aliens, why exactly should we rule out non-secular explanations? Other commentators have suggested that UAPs come from alternate universes or perhaps even from the future. Those hypotheses to me seem much less likely than simple alien invasion. But on what basis do I make that claim? I have no experience with being right about this phenomenon, and neither does anyone else. In other words, it may be that sighting space aliens opens up too many other possibilities. So this person says they don't want to believe aliens are real because they don't believe that God is real and that there's that the creator is real. I mean, this is ridiculous. What kind of retard wrote this article? Is that what I'm reading? The alien origin hypothesis relies too much on the argument from elimination. You start by listing out, the argument of elimination is a common rhetorical tactic, but it can lead you astray. You start by listing what you think are all the possibilities and rule them out one by one. Not the Russians, not censor error, and so on, until the only conclusion left is that they are alien visitors. When you have eliminated all which is impossible, then whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. The argument from elimination works fine when there is a fixed set of possibilities, such as the murder suspects on a train. The argument is more dangerous when the menu of options is unclear in the first place. Well, see, but they're not even listing all possible scenarios here. That's the thing. They're like, it could be this, or it could be that, or it could be that, but they're leaving out all kinds of shit. This is a retard article. Alien origins hypothesis at least 10% likely. I see some reasonable chance that the absence of plausible alternative hypothesis reflects the reality of that alien origin hypothesis is true. I can't derive how I get to the exact probability for that option. It's rectal extraction is what it is. Bunch of crap. UAP captured by U.S. Army helicopter has just been released. Well, let's see. Show me. Screenshot. On November 6, 2018, the pilots of U.S. Army AH-64 Apache attack helicopter were on a training flight in Arizona when they spotted 3 unidentified aerial phenomena, or UAP, making wild maneuvers in the sky not too far away and particularly high in the sky. At least that's the narrative that accompanies the latest bit of what used to be called UFO footage, published by YouTube Friday morning by the Science, Technology, and Defense website. Used to be called UFO footage. The debrief in conjunction with the opening of UFO Disclosure Symposium taking place this week in Vernal, Utah. Be a part of the global reveal of new unseen UAP footage. All right, well. Let me put it on YouTube because it won't let me put it full screen. It's like 3 dots. They just look like 3 dots. You can hardly see them. Here. Oh, they rotate around a little bit each other right there. That was weird. Did you see that? They're like 3 in a row and then they go right there. Weird. Aliens! Must be! I believe the planet is a super big organism alive and we're white blood cells. You sound like an auntie. I sound like an auntie? That's a new one. Why they change names of stuff? You can guarantee they're on some bullshit, like Rona being called 8 different things, or ISIS being called ISIL now, UFOs, UAP, all to keep people watching the changes. Yeah, it's just to keep people distracted and keep you confused, you know? Just to keep people confused. Bought more R yesterday at 66.6 cents. Yeah, right? R's cheap right now, huh? Everything's cheap. Let's see. Coin market cap. You can look at some stuff right now if you want. Bitcoin's at 30,000, 30.6 now. Ethereum's still under 2 at 19. XRP's at 40. Dang, man. Let's see. What's Hex? Hex was 7 last I looked, so Hex is now, yeah, 0.078. That's a deal right now. That is a deal. Okay, look at this though, you guys. For people who trip out about crypto, look at this. Hex. For over 1 year is still in the green. Okay, if I go and look at Bitcoin, oh well, now it's in the green a little bit, but there for a while it was in the red. Or is this 1 year? No, it's not 1 year. Okay, see, yep, it's in the red. Look. Last year, it's lower than it was a year ago. Okay. But Hex is still higher than it was a year ago. It used to be a lot higher, but you know, everything's tanking right now. But we're still higher than we were a year ago, so that's good. What about Ethereum? Yeah, Ethereum below where it was a year ago. Hey, Shiba's back up again. A little bit. Monero up. Very good. Monero. I don't have very much Monero. I just have a little teeny itty bitty bit. But I think I might start getting more Monero. There for a minute there, it was cheap. 176. It was even less than that. Yeah, look, down here was a 168 at one point. I should have bought some then. What a steal. But, you know, it's a little bit scary because I'm still relatively new to crypto. And you're like, man, when everything's tanking, you're like, I'm just going to hodl. I don't really want to put more money in there. But actually, that's like the best time to buy. Yeah. Lowe's has garden and potting soil on sale. Oh, that's right, because it's Memorial Day. Ooh, I might go get some potting soil. Yeah. By the way, I do have my phones open. 848-222-2480. If anybody wants to call in, the phones are always open. Yeah. Let me go over here. Hi, Dr. Law. I see Law over here on Facebook. Yeah. Good to see you. Sold most of your crypto months ago when it was peaking and buy more soon. Yeah, that's the way to do it. That's a good way to do it. Buy some and then sell when it's way, way, way up. And then when it dips, buy more. It's actually a really good way to do it. I I just tend to watch more. I don't do too much. Bitcoin needs to be at 60,000 for you to break even. Ha, you bought at the top. Yeah, I know how that feels. Sometimes you buy stuff at the top. That's me, man. I bought Pirate. It wasn't at the top, because at the top it was like $15, $16. But I did buy Pirate, and it was like $4. And now it's like Anywhere just said he got some for 66 cents. It is low. But I love Pirate Coin though. The privacy coins are awesome. But I feel like Pirate got kind of a bad rap from that whole crypto vigilante fiasco. You know? Just my opinion. I got Pirate at 7. Yeah. Yeah. Bitcoin will go lower, down to 15. I've seen a lot of people thinking that Bitcoin is gonna go even lower, and so I haven't bought any yet. But I'm like thinking, man, you know, the first time I bought Bitcoin, it was 18,000. It was at 18, and then it like went up to like 36, and I was like, oh shit, my money doubled. You know, I was like, whoa, dude, that's like what got me into crypto, because I saw those gains. I was like, wow, dude, that's amazing. But then, of course, you know, the market is very volatile, so it goes up and down. And right now it's way, way down. We're in a total bear market right now. But if you time it right, if you stay in it for the long term and you buy low and you just hold on to your coins, you know, it'll pay off. Like, I don't trade. I don't do trading or anything like that, because I feel like you can get wrecked doing trading, you know, if you don't really, really know what you're doing, and I don't. So I like to I kind of use it as like a savings account, as like a personal investment is basically what I do, because you don't have to pay taxes or anything on it if you do that until you cash out. I haven't cashed out any of it, but you know, it's like some people have a 401k or an IRA or whatever. It's like, for me, that's kind of what I started as my little savings account. You know, it's good to do. Yeah, Bitcoin is a gauge. I know. I have altcoins too. But you know, I'm just waiting for that split, waiting for that Ethereum fork. Come on, Richard Hart. Pulse chain, come on. I'm just waiting for that split so we can get copies of all our ERC20s, and that's when it's really going to get exciting again, I think. You know, it's like right now it's kind of like we're all in the dumps, it's all, but once that fork happens, it's going to get really exciting again, I think. What do you guys think? Yeah. Yeah, man, if Bitcoin goes below 20, I would say it's worth getting for sure. Even, you know. Yeah, it's good to see that there's a lot more people getting into crypto and not being so, you know, worried about it, because I didn't for a long time. For a long time, I was very against getting into crypto. I fought it, like I see so many other people doing. And then, because, you know, I am friends with Jaren and I listen to his streams a lot, and I've listened to him talk about crypto for a long time, listened to him talk about it for a long time before I actually got into it. And then that happened. I got into it, and it was like, yeah, the Bitcoin was at 18, and then it pumped to like 36. And that's what piqued my interest. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. If you could do that, you know, like, I need to know more about this, because he's right. If you put that money into a bank account, it just sits there. And You don't get any gains on that. You don't get any real interest on that. It's like such a small percentage. It's like half a cent a year or something. I mean, I don't know. It's something. It's not even really worth mentioning. You know. Bought guns and ammo with the crypto money I cashed in. See, that's what's up. That's what's up. That's why, but that's good. See, people say, "Oh, well, what if the grid goes down or something? Then how are you going to get your crypto?" Well, if the grid goes down, how are you going to get your money out of the bank? I mean, seriously, and what good is that money going to be to you? At that point, it's like, if the grid goes down, the last fucking thing you need to be worried about is your money in the bank, right? Because at that point, that's the last thing you need to worry about. So I feel like that's a really stupid thing, a stupid reason to not get into it. You know, I think it's a lot easier for people to get into that than it is to like get into heavy investing with like banks and stuff and all that. You know, and then there's a lot, they make you wait, blah blah blah. I don't know. I just think I like it because it puts you in control of your own money, and you get to make those decisions. Where that's also very scary. It can be very scary at the same time, but as time goes on and you get more comfortable with it, then it feels good. It feels good to be in control of what happens with your money and to learn how to make your money work for you. You know? A smart hooker would accept Bitcoin, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's the only thing to do. There's a ton of things you can do. You know, Bitcoin started at $50 today, 30,000. Yep, looks like a bad investment. I know. It's very volatile, but if you get in at the right time with the right project and the right coin, boy, you can make a lot of money. You know? Monero. Yeah, like Monero. $300 bought at $350. I'm sad now. I know. But at the same time, I've been thinking about buying more R because it's so cheap, like dirt freaking cheap right now. And I feel like in a while, maybe it'll go back up. It could go back up. It's a good project. It's a good coin. It's so cheap to send back and forth. And you know, as people get more into crypto, the usability will become better. You know, I don't have crypto accepted on my website yet, but I would love to look into being able to accept crypto through my website for payment and stuff. That's a cool thing to do. But I feel like as more people get into it and the usability, you know, people start to see the usability of it, well then, you know, the value will go up. Yeah. Hi, Chicago artist. I don't know. If you can buy $2,000 worth of pulse chain at launch 0.001 and hold for 2 to 3 years, you will be a millionaire. Well, I don't know if do you think you're going to be able to even buy a pulse for that cheap at launch? Do you think it'll like pump way up and then go down? You know? I just I may swap some of my hex for some pulse. I think there's supposed to be a bridge or something. I still don't really understand how that part works, but Bradley says, okay, so I've been considering investing in crypto. Say I wanted to start with $1,000. Would you split it in a bunch of ways? Are there some that are better bets than others? you could do a few different things, and it depends on what you want to do. Me personally, I would, man, I'm just thinking, if I had $1,000 right now to spend on crypto, what would I buy? And, I personally like Hex. I'm into Hex. That was one of the other coins I bought early on. I bought Hex when it was 0.001. And I saw it go all the way up to 50. It was at 50 there for a bit. And then of course it dipped again, but I think it will go back up again. But this is a really good coin. Hex is an ERC20 token too. When the pulse chain splits, you'll get a duplicate of Hex. If you buy Hex now, like that's one thing. There's going to be a fork of the Ethereum chain, right? There's going to be a fork of the Ethereum chain. And so if you're holding an ERC20 token now in a wallet that you have the key phrase to, that it's your wallet, not on an exchange, if you're holding an ERC20 in a wallet that you own, when the pulse chain splits, when the pulse chain forks off of Ethereum, you'll get a duplicate of all your ERC20 coins on the pulse chain. It's like free money. So if I had $1,000 personally right now, I would buy some Ethereum, and then I would swap some of that Ethereum for Hex. And you will have to save some Ethereum to do transactions, because doing transactions on Ethereum is expensive because of gas fees, but that's where the fork comes in. And then I would just wait for that split. Sherry Ive says, I would buy 5 pounds of chocolate and melt it in a bath with warm buttermilk and rose petals if I had $1,000. That's funny. They all get pumped at first. Dave Hinkle says, I would buy $1,000 of R, but that's just me. Yeah, R is a bit. You have to have Bitcoin to get R. So if you were gonna buy R, you would have to buy some Bitcoin and then swap it for R. Yeah, R's good. I'm not against R. Pirate chain. I don't even look anymore. I know. I don't know. I would just hang on to it. I think it'll go back up. Let's, because it's still a good project. It's still a good coin. They just really got shafted by the crypto vigilante guys, in my opinion. Oh, hey, we got a caller. Let's take a call, shall we? Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B. Hi, Kyle. Hi, Kyle. How are you?
What are your thoughts on BioLife? Plasma is everywhere, and they're really encouraging you to go out there and donate plasma at BioLife. Okay, but plasma's everywhere. It's really, really abundant. Okay, every time you light a flame, that flame is plasma. So why can't you just collect plasma from fire?
I don't know. Are there different kinds of plasma? Is it all the same? Can't all be the same kind of plasma, is it? Is plasma
I don't know.
the name of a substance?
I've never heard of any distinguishing different types of plasma. I know there's different kinds of gas, and so yeah, there's lots of different kinds of gases. But I don't, I hear about oxygen and helium and all these different kinds of gases. But when it comes to plasma, I've never heard of any other kind of plasma. I just hear plasma. That's it. So I'm just thinking about that. It's like, Okay, plasma is everywhere. So why do they particularly need your blood, the plasma that comes from your blood? Is there something else that they're taking from your blood with that plasma that seems to be essential? Because all of a sudden now, that's not necessarily donating plasma; that's donating something else. And so I don't know. Those are just something that's been taken on through my mind.
Okay. I think that, plasma is one of the 4 fundamental states of matter. So it contains a significant portion of charged particles, ions, and or electrons. So that's what this is saying. In physics, plasma is a state of matter. So then if it's just a state of matter, then there would be different types of plasma. So there must be something in the blood plasma that they're looking for specifically.
So a specific element that comes from blood. Okay, so if there's we've got different kinds of plasmas, perhaps. So, okay, why does it need to be from humans and not from animals? Why doesn't pig plasma work, for example? It seems like there's more to this plasma stuff that they're collecting, because if you take it from an animal, all of a sudden, that's the wrong kind of plasma. Okay, well, if we're getting kind of contamination things, then that tells me there's a little more than just plasma you're donating there.
Yeah. Well, for sure. I mean, think about it. I mean, blood is very important. Look, think about all the emphasis that's put on blood, signing with blood rituals. So, there's got to be something that they're after that's in the plasma. I mean, that makes sense to me. What are they after? That's a good question.
And they don't really tell you all those details. All you hear is, I'm donating plasma, I'm helping save lives, and that's all they tell you. But I'm really curious about those extra details going on there. I was like, what? Yeah, asking the questions that I don't hear anyone else asking.
Yeah, that's a good question. Some flames consist of plasma. Because now I'm looking at
Have
stuff
you ever
about
seen
plasma.
grape in the microwave before?
Yeah, we did that here.
Yeah, that's plasma.
Yeah,
that's plasma. So if you can get plasma from grapes, why are they paying you all this money to get your particular plasma out of your blood? It's like, what qualities does that have that all this other plasma doesn't have? That's an interesting investigation right there.
Yes, it is. I'm gonna search this, and I don't think I'm gonna get a good answer, but I wanna search what is in human plasma.
That's something to think about. But yeah, I was wanting to bring up with you, and see if anyone else has an answer to that.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for calling. That's a good question.
Thank you.
All right.
Yeah, great morning to you.
Okay, you too.
Or excellent morning to you.
Yes. All right. Later.
Okay, good talk.
That's an interesting question, isn't it? Blood plasma is a light amber-colored liquid component of blood in which blood cells are absent, but contains proteins and other constituents of whole blood in suspension. It makes up about 55% of the body's total blood volume. So it's more than half. More than half of your blood is plasma, according to Sheeplepedia. This is according to Sheeplepedia, so we'll just take this with a grain of salt, okay, folks? I'm just looking at, this is just a cursory look here. I just want to see what they say. It is the intravascular part of extracellular fluid, all body fluid outside cells. It is mostly water, up to 95% by volume, and contains important dissolved proteins, serum, albumins, globulins, and fibrinogen, glucose, clotting factors, electrolytes, some whatever these are, different elements, calcium, magnesium, hormones, carbon dioxide, plasma being the main medium for excretory product transportation, and oxygen. It plays a vital role in the intravascular osmotic effect that keeps the electrolyte concentration balanced and protects the body from infection and other blood-related disorders. Blood plasma is separated from the blood by spinning a vessel of fresh blood containing an anticoagulant in a centrifuge until the blood cells fall to the bottom of the tube. The blood plasma is then poured or drawn off. For point-of-care testing applications, plasma can be extracted from whole blood via filtration or via agglutination to allow for rapid testing of specific biomarkers. Specific biomarkers. Blood serum is blood plasma without clotting factors. Plasmapheresis is a medical therapy that involves blood plasma extraction, treatment, and reintegration. So here we go. Maybe this could be why they're collecting plasma. So let's see what plasmapheresis is from the Greek plasma, something molded, and apheresis, taking away. It is the removal, treatment, and return or exchange of blood plasma or components thereof from and to the blood circulation. It is thus an extracorporeal therapy, a medical procedure performed outside the body. Medical uses. So what does it treat? An important use of plasmapheresis is in the therapy of autoimmune disorders, where the rapid removal of disease-causing autoantibodies from the circulation is required in addition to other medical therapy. It is important to note that plasma exchange therapy in and of itself is useful to temper the disease process, while simultaneous medical and immunosuppressive therapy is required. Immunosuppressive therapy is required for long-term management. Plasma exchange offers the quickest short-term answer to removing harmful antibodies. However, the production of autoantibodies by the immune system must also be suppressed, usually by the use of medications such as cyclophosphamide, cyclosporine, mycophenolate, mofetil, prednisone, and rituximab, or a mixture of these. Other uses are the removal of blood proteins, where these are overly abundant and cause hyperviscosity syndrome. Hyperviscosity syndrome is a group of syndromes, blah, blah, blah. High blood viscosity includes spontaneous bleeding from mucous membrane. So it makes your blood thin, because you're supposed to have, obviously, if your body makes your blood and it's 55% plasma, and then the other 45% is blood cells, that's the optimum viscosity for being inside your body and for your body to handle, right? So if they pump a bunch more plasma into your blood, then they thin your blood out. They're thinning your blood out and you just start bleeding from your eyes. I mean, is this for real? Okay. Sounds great. So, blood plasma contains, and also another thing too, 95% water, but it's water that is, well, like, okay, here's what I think about when I think about that. Water carries memory, right? It has a memory and it can be programmed, right? So if that water is the water that is in your blood, they're extracting, a bit of your, how can I say this? Like the information on your body, on maybe your frequency, maybe, things about your system. Clotting factors, electrolytes, hormones. And then what was I reading earlier that made it sound like anticoagulant? Components of blood circulation. Exchange. A patient's blood plasma is removed. Okay, so what they do is they remove the blood plasma. White blood products are given in replacement. This type is called plasma exchange, or a combination of albumin and saline, usually 70% albumin and 30% saline. Removing blood plasma, separating its components, and returning some of them to the same person while holding out others to become, and then they're autoimmune disorders, right? So think about this. They're think about the thing that they're putting in those magic shots, right? Because I'm still on YouTube. Everything they're putting on those magic shots, right? The mRNA, and whatever, and it's supposed to be supposedly pre-programming your body to make certain things, which produce those autoimmune disorders, right? And so then what? Now they're going to go pull your blood plasma out and replace it with other blood plasma. Like, they are really messing with people here, is what it looks like to me. Like, I wouldn't want anything to do with any of that stuff. Yeah, they want your essence. That's what it sounds like. Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Essence, that's a good word. Life force. Yeah, that's why, like, all those blood donation, they say that people need to donate blood, and it does save lives and all that stuff, but man, I just am so hesitant to do any of that stuff. Or like all these people who do those DNA tests. I mean, I don't think you're giving your life essence there, but I just also don't think there's any validity to those DNA tests. Because I've seen things where they put all kinds of ridiculous things in those tests, and it comes back with like a full chart of something that's not even related to like the lizard or cat or whatever saliva that they put on the thing and had tested. Insertion of a rather large intravenous catheter can lead to bleeding, lung puncture. Catheter is left in too long, can get infected. Aside from placing the catheter, the procedure itself has complications. When patient blood is outside of the body passing through the plasmapheresis machine, the blood has a tendency to clot. Donating plasma is similar in many ways to whole blood donation, though the end product is used for different purposes. Plasma donors undergo a screening process to ensure both the donor's safety and the safety of the collected product. Factors monitored include blood pressure, pulse, temperature, total protein, protein electrophoresis. Healthy history screening similar to that for whole blood, as well as annual physical exam with a licensed physician, blah, 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 blah. For example, donations are tested for HIV by ELISA, which shows if they've been exposed to the disease, as well as by nucleic acid methods. PCR similar. We all know that that's a bunch of BS. The PCR test is BS. To rule out infections that the ELISA test... What is ELISA? Enzyme-linked immunosorbent assay. In commonly used analytical biochemistry assay, first described by Eva Engvall, blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of types. The principle. Wet lab technique. Detection of analyte. The specific substance whose presence is being quantitatively or qualitatively analyzed in liquid sample. Controlled sequence of biochemical reactions that will generate a signal which... See, this sounds just like the PCR test, a controlled sequence of biochemical reactions. So they put whatever their substance is in, and they mix it with something else, a controlled substance of biochemical reactions that will generate a signal which... This is a bunch of bullshit too. Oh, we test these things for this and that. Also screamed for hepatitis B and hepatitis C. Plasmapheresis started in 1913. Weird. Yeah. Synthetic blood plasma. Simulated body fluid is a solution having a similar ion concentration to that of human blood plasma. SBF is normally used for the surface modification of metallic implants and more recently in gene delivery application. Gene delivery application, huh? Genetically modified organisms. See, here's where I'm going. So look, DNA, RNA, and host cells. There you go. Boom. Gene delivery of foreign genetic material into DNA and RNA host cells. Boom. See? I knew it would go there. That's exactly what I was thinking about. When I started looking at all this stuff, I was like, okay, so they're somehow using this to manipulate DNA and RNA and to change how things work, right? Because it's, you know, if they extract the blood plasma from someone like that has like divine essence, right? And then they can try to change that and then use that somehow to, I don't know what they're doing. Who knows what they're doing? But can you see where where this is going and how it sort of goes side by side with everything that we're seeing happen right now? For the host cell to introduce gene expression. Successful gene delivery requires the foreign gene delivery to remain stable within the host cell and can either integrate into the genome or replicate independently of it. This requires foreign DNA to be synthesized as part of a vector, which is designed to enter the desired host cell and deliver the transgene to that cell's genome. What's the transgene? A transgene is a gene that has been transferred naturally or by any number of genetic engineering techniques from one organism to another. The introduction of a transgene in a process known as transgenesis has the potential to change the phenotype of an organism. So there you go. That's what they're after with the blood plasma. Exactly. They could be adding stuff to it. Right. Splicing. Adding to the program, right? Adding code into the program. Because if you think about it, like, you know, and I don't want to say it like as if I think we're living in a simulation, but that's a really good way to describe like what happened, like how we were made, right? Everything has a purpose and everything inside of it has like a code written into it, in these proteins or genes or whatever they are, but there's a code written into everything that is inside of us, right? And therefore, and that's how it knows to carry out whatever its process is, right? It knows. It's like when they say that the word of God is written on your heart. I don't like to use the word God, but you know, the creator, it's like, it's just written there, like it is. It was programmed to do a certain thing, and so that's what it is. So, but then, you know, you get people, hackers, right? Like this dude. Hackers. Right? This guy, we can hack humans. right? Humans will be hacked. Watch.
Some lenders routinely use complex artificial intelligence algorithms to determine who qualifies for loans. Global financial markets are moved by decisions made by machines analyzing huge amounts of data in ways even their programmers don't always understand. Harari says the countries and companies that control the most data will in the future be the ones that control the world.
Today in the world, data is worth much more than money. 10 years ago, you had these big corporations paying billions and billions for WhatsApp, for Instagram, and people wondered, are they crazy? Why do they pay billions to get this application that doesn't produce any money? And the reason why? Because it produced data.
And data is the key.
The world is increasingly kind of cut up into spheres of data collection, of data harvesting. In the Cold War, you had the Iron Curtain. Now you have the Silicon Curtain between the USA and China. And where does the data go? California, or does it go to Shenzhen and to Shanghai and to Beijing?
Harari is concerned the pandemic has opened the door for more intrusive kinds of data collection, including biometric data.
What is biometric data?
It's data about what's happening inside my body. What we have seen so far, it's corporations and governments collecting data about where we go, who we meet, what movies we watch. The next phase is the surveillance going under our skin.
Surveillance, yeah. That's not exactly the clip that I was looking for, but that's basically the point of it. And it's so interesting because also I had another... here. I had this thing open as well to discuss. You'll be injecting robots into your bloodstream to fight disease soon. So maybe this is part of it. Maybe that's another thing they're doing with plasma. They're looking for ways to deliver these microscopic things intercellularly. Do you know what I mean? Yes, CRISPR. Yeah, I know about CRISPR. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Grounded extracts, that's funny. My phones are open still. 848-222-2480. What do you guys think about this stuff? Blood banks, hello? Yeah. So that I think that's a highly plausible answer there, Kyle, to what are they doing with the blood plasma, right? Oh, cheers, Harmon. Thank you for the tip. Adrenochrome. Oh no, transgene run. Why do all these explanations sound like Dr. Frankenstein World of Human Experiments on the Masses? Yeah. Let me say thank you to those who tipped on Rockfin. Cheers, Harmon. Rachel Hilgert, thank you. And Rune Dragon. Appreciate it. Before I forget. to tie Harmon. Yeah, isn't that funny? Oh, we have a caller. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
Hey, Queen Bee, how are you?
Hey, Dr. Law, how are you?
I'm doing good. It's just so strange that you were talking about plasma today, because on Saturday I ran into a guy I played soccer against, and he had knee problems, and he was telling me about the plasma injection that he got into his knee. He said it's the most incredible thing he's ever had. And, you know, he doesn't do cortisone and things like that. He's more holistic minded.
Uh-huh.
But he told me about the process. They took his blood and they spun it right there in front of him. Took out the plasma with a needle, injected right into his knee. and he said that day he felt incredible. Now his knee is stronger than his bad knee is stronger than the strong knee, his other knee. So it was crazy.
Really? He says his
Yeah,
bad knee
and
is now the good
that's
knee?
why I had to call in. The bad knee that they injected into is now stronger than his other knee that was better, that was good. And
Really?
it was just, yeah. I said I don't believe in that stuff. You know, you would have to really, I would have to do some research on it. And I'm glad you looked into it, because I was going to get around to it sometime. And I just want to let you know that from a guy I just spoke to 2 days ago, he told me the exact same thing of what you're looking into right now. They spun it right in front of him. They withdrew his blood. They spun it in a centrifuge in front of him, pulled out the vial, sucked it out with a syringe, and injected into his knee.
Wow. I wonder if it has to be your own plasma, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, will it work if it... Like, I'm wondering if it would have worked the same if it was somebody else's plasma. You know what I'm saying? Like, is it... Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, because you know they're really big into plasma donations now. You know, they've been doing that for the past several years. You know, that I've been hearing about, because I have people I know that they donate plasma. But yeah, this is the first time I've heard it. But he said they only do your blood with your plasma into your body.
Right.
So I don't think they've crossed yet. No.
I know, because I took my dog to the vet one time when he first came out with those eye problems, and the vet extracted plasma from him and then gave me the plasma, and I was putting that as eye drops in his eye. But it didn't work. Yeah, except it didn't work. Didn't work for that problem in particular. But
right, I think it's got to be injected in, because as a topical agent, I don't think it'll work as well as if it's directly injected into the bloodstream.
Right.
Or into the area. Strange. But anyway, I just want to let you know that, and it was just coincidental that you were talking about it. And so, but anyway, I hope you have a nice day, Queen Bee.
Thank you, you too.
Looking forward to Flattoberfest.
Yes, sir.
Okay, later.
All right, talk to you later. All right, Dr. Law. Yeah. That's interesting. And it kind of, it's almost like it's kind of similar to urine therapy. That reminds me of urine therapy, right? Like, I don't know, if there's plasma in urine or not, but, they use urine therapy for a lot of stuff, and it is of course more beneficial if it really only works if it's your urine, right? It has to be yours. 1111. Oh, thank you, Ted. 1111. 1111. 1111, y'all. That's right. It's 1111. Reflect. Resonate. Visualize. I never get to play my 1111 video. I'm always missing it on my stream. But here we got it. Nice. Spirit listens. Visions manifest. That's right. 1111. Soak it up, y'all. Soak it up. Revel in it. All right. Oh, yeah, I gotta get screen share. But yeah, so that's really interesting. Okay, well, let's see. What do I do? What do I do right now? I see I have a caller, but I need to go take a quick break. So let me just take a quick break. It'll be very short, I promise. And I'll be right back. All right. I'm back. Did you all get a refill? They're asking for plasma. You know, it would be what a great ruse to fake something like that, right? To create a quote unquote need for that, and then start collecting it, right? Because people are going to line up and be like, yes, save the children, take my life essence, take my plasma. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen. Hello?
Hey, Karen. How are you on this fine morning?
Oh, I'm doing good. How are you, JM?
Oh, I am doing fantastic and wanted to call and share an interesting experience with you about what happened when I was hanging out with my family on Saturday night.
Okay.
Which I know some of you all know my beloved brother-in-law, Ryan.
Okay.
And I was over there with family, and of course, my sister and her two sons were there, and their girlfriends were there. And I started talking with my sister's two sons about that movie you and Mark were talking about, the Yes You Can Take a Space Program movie that you guys were talking about on Tuesday. And I was letting them know about that, and they're like, holy shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, this space stuff is not what you all think it is. And their younger son, Alex, was like, yeah, I've been doing some looking into stuff, and there's a lot of stuff that doesn't make sense. Well, of course, Ryan comes in, and his son, older son, Austin, starts telling him about this, but he doesn't tell him that it's fake. And he's like, oh, that's a great idea if Great Britain started getting a space program. That would be a great adding to it. And I looked at Austin, and he just starts laughing, and he goes, Dad, I don't think you understand. They convinced people that they were on a rocket. They convinced people they were on a space shuttle. It was all fake. And he's like, oh, well, you know, that can happen, you know, with Hollywood. It's like, that's the whole point. Are you missing the point here about what's going on? But, of course, the evening went on more and more, and I got to actually talk with Alex's girlfriend, and I asked her, I said, so, what grade are you in? She goes, well, I'm going into the 11th grade. And I said, oh, okay. And I said, I'm going to tell you a secret. And she goes, what? I said, almost everything they teach you in history class is a lie. And she looked at me and smiled, and she goes, I know. I sit there and point out all the time at where the teacher's wrong on the dates. The teacher's wrong on this thing. Why doesn't the teacher bring up these parts of history? I said, oh, so you're seeing what's going on. She said, oh, yeah. She goes, there was something during World War II with the Germans. I said, ooh, tell me more. Let's talk about the Germans. We started talking about Torpedo Alley, and then I brought up Black Tom, and she goes, ooh, I've never heard about Black Tom. I said, yeah, look it up and then go to your history teacher, American history teacher. I said, because I'm sure your American history teachers are very proud about how much they know about American history. And she goes, oh, yeah, they are, but they don't know shit.
Right. That's interesting.
Well, then I brought up to her, and I said, well, I got to ask you this then. I said, what do you think about the wonderful folks down there at the NASA organization? She looked at me and she goes, I don't trust a damn thing those liars tell us.
Yeah, exactly. Good for her.
So, it was great. And we got talking deeper. She's a flat earther, too.
Oh,
and
nice.
I went, so you know we don't live on a magical spinny ball. And she goes, hell no, we don't live on a magical spinning ball. She goes, that's insane to think that.
That's awesome. How old is she?
She's going into the 11th grade, so I think she's 17.
Awesome.
Yeah, so it's funny. I wanted so bad to tell my brother-in-law, hey, your son's dating a flat earther. What do you think about that?
And he didn't know?
But it was, oh, no, he doesn't know. And then it was funny. He was sitting around a table, and then there was my sister's other two kids there, and we started talking about music, and I was saying, hey, that new Scorpions album is really great. And then I looked at Alex, because Alex is kind of a little more open thinking, and I said, who you need to check out is you need to check out Chief Crow. He's like, Chief Crow. I went back out to my truck and got my cell phone. I played some of the new Scorpion stuff. And then I said, you guys got to check out Chief Crow. And I put on Airship. And he's like, dude, that's some good stuff. And I said, dude, Chief Crow kicks ass.
Yeah,
and
man.
He goes, yeah, I'm definitely going to check him out. Subscribe to his channel. So I got my nephew turned on to Chief Crow on Saturday, too.
Very cool. Right on.
Yeah, it was fun. And then my sister and I were alone for a little bit when she was getting some stuff prepared, and she used to be a flight attendant, and we got to talking, and she started mentioning, she goes, have you heard of this thing called where stuff is changing? It's called I said, the Mandela effect? And she goes, yeah, that's it. And we started talking about that stuff, and I said, Diane, I've been trying to tell you for quite some time now that your book is changing, the Bible. And she goes, really? I started telling her about some of the changes in the Bible, and I said, check that out. And then we started getting into when she was flying. And I said, look, I got to ask you a 100% serious question. All those years that you were flying, I said, name me one time that you looked out the cockpit or looked out the side windows and tell me whenever you saw a curve. She stopped, and she starts thinking, and she goes, now that you mention it, I never did. I said, exactly. I said, I'm not crazy. I'm telling you, there is no curve. And then I started talking about airplanes landing on a north and south runway. Mm-hmm. And I said, explain to me how on earth that would work. She's looking at me, and she goes, that does make sense. And I said, talk to a pilot. Everything they're taught refers to the earth as a flat, stationary plane. Hence the reason it's called an airplane.
Right.
Like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was very nice to see my family, who was once adamantly opposed to anything I said, starting to wake up and see, hey, I'm not the crazy one. They were the crazy ones for believing the lie of the screens for all those years.
Yeah. Exactly.
Of course, I don't ever see my brother-in-law fully waking up, but it was nice to see his oldest son when I brought up that movie. And I told him, I said, check out that movie. They flat out faked these people. Had them completely believing they were on a rocket.
Yeah.
And they never left the studio.
Yeah. Yep.
Of course, my stepdad, because I sent him that video, and I asked him, I said, so, Joe, did you check out that video I sent you? He goes, yeah, I watched it. I said, what did you think about it? He goes, well, Hollywood can pretty much do anything. I was like, yeah, and they've been doing it for generations about tricking people and deceiving people. And we started getting into a big conversation. I said, look at your generation, Joe. You guys were the patriarchal generation. You went to work, your mom stayed at home, your dad went to work, had a pension, had all that nice stuff set up. I said, then your generation, they took that away. They took your wives out of the home, made them go work for somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Let the children be raised by the state. And he goes, well, what happened during your generation? And I said, look, they did it all through the television, all through the screen, all through the music. And he goes, well, what do you think influenced you most about the TV and stuff during your generation growing up? I said, it was all done to hypnotize us. It was all done to memorize us. Good music with catchy beats, good movies. I said it was all done to hypnotize us. And it did a fantastic job.
Yeah. They really did.
But the good news is I think we are making a difference there's enough of us that are starting to send out enough of what we know is truth now into the ether, and I think it's starting to leak along with the lies of this whole COVID nonsense and this war bullshit. People aren't buying this war bullshit.
No, they're not. Nor should they. It's all crap.
And just like the whole Trump thing, my sister used to be so adamant, Trump, 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 Trump. And now if you ask her about Trump, she goes, he's just part of the system. He's all part of the show. I said, yeah.
Yes, exactly.
Elon Musk isn't buying Twitter to save you. All you people that got on Twitter all excited, ain't nothing going on with that bullshit.
They're never gonna allow the truth to really propagate like that. They are never gonna allow that. Those tech giants, all those people who have the ability to control all those algorithms and search results and all that stuff, they're never gonna allow anything that takes away from their narrative or takes power away from them. It's never gonna be allowed to propagate in any sort of real viral sort of way. The truth doesn't go viral.
Yeah. I mean, I was pointing out this weekend, too. I said, they've got the propaganda film of the century that came out this weekend. They're like, what movie? I said, Top Gun Maverick.
Oh, yeah, just in time, right?
I guarantee you that. Yeah.
Just in time to rekindle that altercation or the age-old standoff with the Russians, right? Then keep that going. Bring back that boogeyman.
Now, Karen, I've heard, I haven't seen the movie yet, but I've heard from reviews, it's the country of unknown origin. Definitely not Russia. Who's the bad guy?
Oh, okay. Right. That's hilarious.
But I'm like, don't you all find it very strange that, it's all coming out at this particular time and the movie was delayed for how many years? And nobody wanted to make it and all this other crap. And now it's supposedly the best movie we've had in over 10 years.
That ain't really saying much, is it?
No. But I mean, and that's what's coming from the quote unquote movie reviewers.
Yeah.
And, from the reviews I've seen on it, there's nothing woke in it. And of course, there's incredible aerial footage. And I point that out to people as well. I'm like, so the military allows Hollywood in there to do all this filming and get their best of the best fighter pilots to do shooting of a movie? Really? Explain to me how this is not propaganda that's going on here.
Right. It's like the same type of propaganda that was going on since like the First World Wars when they used to do those movies about, war propaganda movies, except back then it was like they called it war propaganda. Now they just mask it in entertainment.
I mean, they've been doing it for years. Like, what did they do with pot years ago? What was that movie that came out years ago?
Reefer Madness.
Reefer Madness. I've seen some clips from that. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. They were putting this in movie theaters, saying these words about particular people that if they smoke this, it'll make them think they're just as smart as us. I'm like, are you friggin' kidding me?
Mm-hmm.
But Hollywood's obviously good now because they wouldn't do that propaganda anymore, would they?
Right. No. Of course not.
That was only back years ago when the evil patriarchy was running everything, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
Well, thank you guys very much for everything you do. We greatly, greatly appreciate it, and so glad to see that you got Chief Crow coming to the Flattoberfest in October.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be a blast.
And that Mark Sargent feller,
Yes.
we've got to make sure he wears his Freemason hat because he will be in his home. He will be in one of his fellow lodges, so he has to wear the hat so he can walk around and salute everybody.
Right. That's right. It'll be
'Cause
awesome.
we all know that Mark Sargent is a secret Mason. We know this. He's part of the PSYOP. We know this.
Oh, of course. Yes. The show Mark Sargent.
Yes, I'm being sarcastic.
I know. I love Mark. He's the best. He gets way too much crap.
No, Mark is awesome.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for calling, JM.
He's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Karen. Appreciate you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Yeah. Mark Sargent is my homie. I don't care what anybody says. Reefer Madness is fucking hilarious. I have it on DVD. I used to work for Tower Records. Okay? Because when I lived in Sacramento, that's where Tower Records headquarters was, right? And I didn't work at a store. I worked actually at the headquarters, like the corporate office of Tower Records. And of course, every once in a while, there'd just be big piles of DVDs and stuff. And you just go skim through it and just take home whatever's there, right? It was like freebies. I got Reefer Madness. Man, I watched that movie a couple times. It is so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like, when you watch it, you're just like, man, how gullible were people back then that they believed this crap? It's like they were just so in awe of something being like on a movie screen that they just were like, oh, they believed it. It's so dumb. Yeah. Crow 777 is pretty hard on who? Mark Sargent? I don't really ever hear Crow talking about Mark. Or at least I've missed it. Yeah, sorry, I'm just looking in chat. Grounded Extracts, by the way, I need to have... You guys got to come hang out. I want to have a cookout. The weather's nice. I want to have some people over. Let's hang out. We have lots of room over here. You could bring all your little chillins and let them run around. We got a trampoline. We got chickens. It'll be fun. We need to have a cookout. I've been firing up the grill this past weekend because it's been so nice and it's been so good. I love grilling food. You get that nice smoky flavor on all your food. It just tastes so delicious. I was grilling burgers. I grilled salmon burgers on the grill. That was really good. Yes. All right, sweet. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. We're going to rock out to Chief Crow. Yeah, Chief Crow's going to be at Flattoberfest, you guys. It's going to be so good. He's really great. I don't know how much you guys have listened to him, but I really highly suggest you guys go and check him out. I think he's got, I think you can listen to him on, does he have like a SoundCloud or anything like that? Oh, here he says, This is Airship. This is that song that Jim was talking about. Yeah, Bandcamp. Download tunes. cheapcrow.bandcamp.com. Right. Let's see. Yeah, there you go. can download some songs. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Auto hoax. Where's the curve? Space is fake. He's the bomb. Make airships great again. MAGA. Haha. That's funny. Anyway, yeah, you guys should go check them out. All right, let's see. Where are we at? 11:35. Worked at Tower Records in Yonkers, yeah. Okay, so Tom Mitchison says urine, also called blood plasma ultrafiltrate. So there is plasma in urine. So if there's plasma in urine and it does so good to heal so many things, because I healed, I didn't drink it, but I did topically use urine therapy to heal a severe case of eczema I had on my right hand, and it cleared it up and cured it in less than a week. Like, it was just days when I had struggled with it for months using steroid creams and all that stuff. So it makes sense. So then if you use your own plasma, then that makes sense that you could accelerate healing using your own plasma if it's the same kind of stuff that they also put in or if it's the same stuff that's in urine, if your plasma is in urine. So I think I saw somebody else say that there was plasma in urine. Have to get a ton of work done this week, but you'll be caught up by Thursday or Friday. Oh, cool. Okay, well then we could do it on Saturday or whenever. Yeah, from his website. I bought his CDs from his website, Chief Crow. Chief Crow's there. Yeah, super chill. Thank you. It's what I like. I like to keep this show chill. It's just a chill, laid back, open discussion, Moonday early light show. No pressure. I like to have my phones open. I like to discuss certain things, new things. Get grounded extracts PP potion. Yeah, but it has to be your own. You can't sell PP because it has to be your own PP. Otherwise, it just doesn't work. Mixture of honey and urine and a Band-Aid, yeah. I'm telling you, man, it was like instant. It was so painful and pussy. My skin was cracked. It was horrid. And one morning I was in so much pain, and it was just, I couldn't stand it. And at that time, everybody had been talking about urine therapy, and I was already into flat earth and all that for a while. And so I was like, screw it. And I just peed right straight on my hand. And then, man, the instant pain relief, the instant relief, the soothing, it was like immediately soothing. I'm telling you. I swear by that. If somebody has like a skin issue, a topical skin issue, like eczema and stuff, I'm telling you, man, just pee on it. Pee on it. Pee on it. And it'll go away and it'll never come back. I swear by it. Jason Starr, I had monkeypox for years. Get out of here. No despair bear. I had shingles on my head, under my hair, and my PP therapy worked great for me. Seriously? Seriously. It does. Pee on it. Indians ate mushrooms and drank their piss to trip extra hard. Does that work? Does that work? Who wants to be a guinea pig? Who wants to do an experiment? Who wants to do an experiment? That sounds like a fun experiment. Yeah, shea butter works too, but I tried that on my hands. I was using like straight up 100% organic, raw shea butter, everything. Nothing worked like when I peed on my own hand. No, R. Kelly was not a doctor because it has to be your own pee used on yourself. It doesn't work if you pee on somebody else. Unless you get stung by a jellyfish and you're on the beach and you're in extreme pain, you can relieve the pain by having somebody else pee on your jellyfish sting. In that case, it does help. So I don't know. The new monkeypox cures pee-pee. Oh my god. Flattober Festival. I'd try it one time. No despair bear, do it. Grounded Extract says, I'll try it. That's hilarious. But you have to do it controlled. So you have to get I don't know. How could you do it to see if there really is a difference? You would have to do like a trip of just a certain amount of mushrooms and just take that and just take in the mushrooms and then wait a while for your system to get all out of your system and then do it again with the same amount of mushrooms. And then the urine. I just drank 2 pints of 1 week old urine, no lying, done it with pre-gablin in my system. Once I fell asleep, you have to catch the urine with the drugs in it. What? Yeah. Take a couple grams of mushrooms and then wait 2 hours, then the urine and see if that enhances. Maybe. Here's the thing. I don't even know if I would be able to stomach doing that already on mushrooms, because after 2 hours, you're already feeling the effects of the mushrooms, right? And then you're going to have to get over with the mental thing of drinking the urine, which I've never done before. I don't even think I could do it. Yeah, I know. And I've watched Amanda Vollmer talk about it too, but I still haven't been able to bring myself to drink it. But topical, I didn't have any problem with, and it worked. Could you imagine being tripping and be like, dude, I don't know, man. I think I would just laugh uncontrollably and it would just never happen. I can do this. We could do this, people. All right. Well, I don't know. That's too funny. Oh my goodness. So many jokes there. And then Billingtano says you'd have to be tripping balls to agree to drink piss. Yeah, but you're right though. Aged urine is supposed to be even better. Oh, and get this. I was reading about somebody who lets the urine crystallize. You know how if you let it sit there and then the water will evaporate off and then the urine will crystallize? And this guy was talking about using the crystallized urine, and like you can rub that topically onto stuff like it. And you know me, I'm all about crystals. I was like, well, that makes sense because anything in its purest form is going to crystallize or turn crystalline. Can turn crystalline once you take the hydration out of it. The hydrogen. Yeah, Amanda Vollmer put it in pineapple juice. That might be a good way to do it. I think I might be able to do it if I put pineapple juice in it. I did make a tea. I made a mushroom tea once and it worked really good. Smoke the crystal shroom piss. All right, you guys are just going off the deep end. Blend mushrooms to powder and mix with fresh squeezed lemons. Let sit in fridge for 24 hours. Cheesecloth drink. Ah. Okay. Got it. Pee is a weapon. They use it to mark stuff, but I'm not even sure if it's the same thing as just pure urine. Joey Bustamante says, reindeer eat a mushroom that makes them trip. Toxic to humans, but if you drink the animal's urine, you will trip. Oh, God. I ain't doing that drug. That sounds foul. And who the hell ever thought to do that? I mean, a reindeer? So somebody was really, really bored and, I don't know what they were thinking way out in the north in the cold or something. Like, I don't get it. Why do the astronauts on the fake ISS say they drink their own refined pee? Because it just pushes the idea that the ISS is actually a real thing, because they make all these explanations for shit that doesn't even happen. That's why they say it, because it just reinforces the idea that A, that the ISS is really up there with people on it, and two, that space is being in space is real and it's difficult and you have to drink your own pee to do it, so being an astronaut is hard. I mean, it all just reinforces the same idea. Scribe of Persia. What did you walk into, boy? You walked into Coffee Talk. It's open topic, and you never know where it's going to go, my friend. It goes anywhere. Oh, we have a caller. Let's see. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen B.
This is Harmon. How you doing?
Hey, Harmon. How's it going?
Good. I hope you never drink pee. I think that pee drinking is much good. You know? I hope you never do. I think topical, when I was in Boy Scouts back in the 60s, we were taught, if you got an infection and it got cut out there or in poison ivy, to pee on it, you know? Mm-hmm. We were taught that then. And it's always been a antiseptic or something. Keep from doing that. That's why we were taught. But internal, it's like people who drink, if you drink, what happens if you drink snake venom, right?
What happens? Nothing?
Nothing. Nothing.
Yeah.
It's only when it's injected into you.
Right. Which is why the snake
So there's
water
people that
idea
don't-
was so dumb.
Go ahead.
I was just saying that's why the snake water
Yeah.
idea was so dumb. Yeah. Continue.
Yeah. All right. And so I'm just saying, you drink snake venom, ain't going to do it to you. Drinking your piss isn't going to do nothing for you either. You know? It's just going to break it down and make it go out where it came out, where you just got it from.
Okay.
You know, you just... That's just my opinion. I've been listening to these people forever talking about that. Since this whole flat Earth stuff started, people were talking about that.
Mm-hmm.
What was that guy's name that's from England? I can't remember his name right now.
Dave Murphy?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying they do it to be that. I think they've gone too far over on some of the stuff like that. And it's old news that it has, they put it on wounds and stuff forever. But drinking it, what the hell? Do you see my theory, though? If snake venom's not going to do to you, what the hell's piss going to do for you?
Well, they're not the same thing, though, either. It's not the same substance.
But it's right?
Like you drink water and it nourishes you. Doesn't do nothing. You know what I mean? You eat food and you get the nourishment out of it. It doesn't do nothing. It doesn't just destroy everything. You get things out of the food you eat. So you can get things into your system through your stomach. But it's almost like your stomach acids are smart and they know like what they need and what they don't need. You know what I mean?
Right.
Your stomach does have a brain. Your gut has a brain. There are neurons in your gut. Just like there's neurons in your heart and in your brain, but your gut has a brain. So maybe your gut is just smart enough to know what to take and what to throw out.
Well, they threw it out once and you put it right back in.
Yeah, but it's also but haven't you ever had to go pee during like one day and then you wait long enough and then it goes away, you don't have to pee anymore? Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, but it comes back twice as bad, doesn't it?
Well, no, because your body can reabsorb that fluid into your system, right? It's like a reserve,
I never thought of that. I have to, next time I go pee, hold it and see what happens.
Right? Or just,
but yeah,
don't drink anything or because I've had that happen, because especially here when I live in the South, I'll drink a lot of water. And then if I go outside, I'll think, oh, okay, I have to pee, but then I'll start sweating or it'll get hotter or I'll just get distracted and I keep doing something. And before I know it, I don't have to pee anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because your body starts using that liquid.
You sweat it out, you dehydrate. Yeah, I've heard that. And if I think about football, when I was playing football, you never peed, I mean, you were drinking water like crazy.
Right.
Yeah, and we just drink gallons. But I still think ingesting it and like drinking it, I think I'll never go, and I hope you never drink it with pineapple juice or not. And I like Amanda. I do. I like a lot she says, and the only thing I really disagreed with her on was drinking it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people have an issue with it, myself included. I've never done it yet, but I've been trying to just look into it and keep an open mind and stuff, but I haven't felt the need to do it yet.
But like you said, for your hand, I like that story. Of course, you said you were putting steroids on it and stuff from doctors and stuff.
Yeah, the doctors gave me steroid cream that cost me $100, and it worked one time, and then the eczema came back. It came back even worse, and then it got to the point where the steroid cream didn't even help anymore.
You know why that came back worse? From what we've learned through Dr. Amanda and from Kaufman. Mm-hmm. You understand why it came back worse, right?
Right.
Because you didn't cure it. You shut it down, so then when you quit putting it on there, it's going to come back twice as bad because it was never gone, really.
Right. Exactly.
And so when you put would you say you urine on it or something and it went away?
Yeah, I peed on my hand every day for a few days, and it was gone in less than 5 days. It was like my hand was back to normal, and then it never came back. And I had struggled for months and months and months.
100%.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I bet you were so happy, huh?
Oh, yeah. I was, yes.
Yeah,
Because it was my right hand. I couldn't use my hand. I couldn't chop food. I couldn't do anything.
That is. I wonder why you got it in the first place. I wonder what
know.
causes that.
I don't know.
Yeah, it just happened, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe something toxic we ate. What we've learned now through the last few years is that something in your body was toxic trying to leave your body. And some people go out through eczema, some people go out through some boils and all like that stuff. So maybe something in your body was just trying to detox itself. Is that possible?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess so.
I'm thinking... I'm just trying to figure out what. Well, it's like my friend. He's 84. He got shingles when he was like 78, and he's just swearing up and down. And so he went and got a shot for it and everything like this. I said, "Don't you think the shot might have caused the shingles?" That's what I'm thinking. And of course, how long ago was this eczema on your hand?
This was years ago now.
So were you getting vaccines at that time? Vaccinated at all?
No. This was after Flat Earth. And I had already not been getting vaccines.
Okay. I just wonder, how long would you say it happened between that and your last vaccine? I'm just thinking things like that. They put the vaccines
like a
in and
decade.
they come out of all different ways.
Yeah, it was like at least a decade. Time. Yeah, more than a decade.
Okay, I'm just trying to see. I think a lot of our problems are from the vaccines we've had through our life.
Oh, I agree. I agree. They put sleeping crap inside you. Yeah, they put sleeping crap inside you, and then eventually it starts to break down, and your body expels it, and that's how your body that's how it expresses itself, you know. And that's like they know exactly what's going on. This is why this whole monkeypox thing. I mean, it's like they knew it was going to happen. All right.
Well, you know, it's been around for a long time, right?
Oh yeah.
Monkeypox. Yeah.
Well, all this crap,
and, anyway,
all of these things are things that they invented, if you ask me. They invented all this crap.
Oh, 100%. 100%. It's all this fabricated, man's fabricated world they made up for that. See, what I said from the very beginning, over 2 years ago, I actually got to text back and forwards on a conversation with Dr. Kaufman when he first came out, when he started making noise about 2 years ago, February.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, and it really hit me. It was so simple. This is what I see it as. The microscopic world that they give us with all this, the electronic microscope and all this, and the whole germ theory, that's just the same as outer space, except for it's on the inner space. It's the same story. They use CGIs and all the stuff we can't see, and the whole story is just the same as outer space. One's inner space and one's outer space.
Yeah. For
the heliocentric model. That's the way I looked at it, and I was telling him that. He says, I never thought it that way. I said, well, it's the same story.
Yeah.
What do you see it as?
I see it the same way, because they lie to you on the micro and the macro, you know? And
exactly.
And they use this same stupid ball form.
Yeah, it's the same story, isn't it?
Yeah.
And so I said it's the exact same. That's why it was so easy me to accept that this germ theory and terrain theory. I said, well, hell yeah, that's the same. That's the same as heliocentric and geocentric. It's the same thing, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever think of it that way?
Yeah, kind of.
Did you?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely they're taking things that you know, like think about it this way: if like to see a lot of the stuff in the sky, you have to use a telescope. To see a lot of the stuff at a cellular level, you have to use the microscope, and you see stuff there, but you don't necessarily know what it is, right? And they just start making up stories about it.
Well, the stuff they see through the electronic microscope isn't really even seen. It's their theory. They have to dry it out, and it's only a 2D, and they put it on a slide. Then they do an artist rendition of it. The same thing when the galaxies are out there. It's all the CGIs we got on the galaxies, right? Mm-hmm. Everything is not there. They're looking through a telescope saying you see it. It's just as much lie as what they say they're seeing through the electronic microscope. They really don't see anything.
Exactly. Yeah. No, they don't.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
And listen, I've listened to so much of him, and what's that other Tom, that other doctor?
Dr. Tom Cowan?
Yeah. I've listened to so much of them. I freaking feel like a doctor almost. You know what I mean?
I know.
So, so I look at it the same way, that the geocentric and heliocentric and germ theory and terrain theory, same stories.
Yeah.
And just they cover all their bases. That's all they did. You can't get you on one thing, they'll get you on another. They can't get you on following the prophets, then they'll get you to follow the scientists. Either way, they've got every base covered.
Yes, they had. They've been planning this stuff for hundreds of years.
I really think so too. I really like it when you say stuff like that. And I don't know if it's a taboo subject with you or not, but what is the Bigfoot? I'm always interested in that. And do you talk about that?
In what now?
The Bigfoot.
Oh, Bigfoot? Yeah, I talk about Bigfoot. It's just that not very many people care to talk about Bigfoot. People used to laugh at me about it.
Pardon me?
A lot of people laugh at me about it, still to this day.
Why?
I don't know.
I mean, do you think you've seen one?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that. I never followed you on that subject. That's why I was curious about it today.
I've seen them. I've heard them talking. I've seen them shaking trees on my property. I've even got a couple of footprints that I've photographed on my property. And then Cammie was here. Cammie is like my witness because she came and stayed at my house for a month a couple of years ago during the summer, and she is my witness that that the woods basically come alive. They basically just came alive when she showed up. Like everything was so excited for her to be there. Some about Cammie's energy. Like they just were running in and out of the trees. It was really kind of a trip. But yeah.
She became a believer, huh? She became a believer then.
Oh yeah. She knows. She knows they're real.
So any heavily wooded areas is what you would say they would be in?
Yeah, they could be in. I wouldn't say that they are all the time. Like in my woods during the winter, it's like they leave. It's like there's really not much going on here during the winter typically. Or there's a lot fewer of them. But then in the summertime when the woods are really thick and it's like that's when the most of my encounters have been during the summer.
They sure don't seem aggressive at all, from what I understand.
No, not. I've never had any sort of aggressive encounter with them. But if you follow that whole Bigfoot thing, if you listen to some of those stories that people tell, they'll tell you that they've had aggressive encounters. But I don't know how much of it is really an aggressive encounter, as so much as they're just scared shitless because they don't know what the hell that they're dealing with, right? So it's going to seem way more worse than it probably actually is to most people. Because like if you see, or hear or feel like you are within, the vicinity of a creature that is like 10 feet tall and weighs 1,000 pounds and, in your mind could rip your arms off and beat you with it, even though they don't ever do that to people. They freak out. People freak out,
It wouldn't take much to intimidate a person.
No.
That's what you could definitely overreact to that. That's for sure.
Right. For sure. And a lot of people too, a lot of the encounters are hunters. And what does a hunter do? A hunter goes into the woods with the intention of, taking an animal, and they have weapons and they have that energy of being a hunter emitting from them. And if you're dealing with
if
these,
that wild, they could smell it. They could smell it on them. I'm sure.
right? So these creatures, they're much more intelligent. They have not been poisoned out of, brainwashed out of, and screwed out of who they really are. They live as they were meant to live. They know exactly how this place works, how this realm works, and they have abilities that we don't have here. So they know. So if you go into the woods or you go into what is considered their home with the intention of hunting and taking something from their woods, and it just depends on the person and their energy, in my opinion, would be the deciding factor. Because obviously lots of people go and hunt and they don't have any issue, right? There's people hunt all the time and don't have issues. But once in a while, a hunter will come forward and say that they had this experience and they felt very intimidated. I watched a thing with these two hunters where they killed a deer and they were going to collect the deer, and on their way to walk up to collect the deer, a Bigfoot came and stepped in between them and the deer, and they just stopped. Were like, oh crap. And the Bigfoot picked up the deer and like basically looked at him like, yeah, this is mine now, and then walked off, right, with their kill. And they're, what are they going to do? Nothing. Right? So, I mean, it just depends. And I also think that there's good Bigfoots and bad Bigfoots. Like, they're not deities, right? They're just another living being population that inhabits this plane like we do.
They're not aliens like X-Files said and stuff. No, they're just creatures here that live off nature, and they know how to flourish off into nature.
Yeah, exactly. And I just think that, most of the time they stay away from us because we act like crazy idiots when we see them. We start screaming and hollering, and probably people pull out their weapons and start shooting, So I think for the most part, they just try to avoid people. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I see it.
I do. I've heard several people up in northern Arizona. I live over here on the border of Arizona, in northern Arizona, in the forest there. They've had quite a few spottings in the northern Arizona, from what I understand. Mm-hmm. And it's really interesting. I never came across you. I've never asked you of all the times I've talked to you about it. I didn't know if you were allowed to talk about it or what. I didn't know. Oh
yeah, well, I talk about whatever I want to talk about. I just hardly ever bring it up because most people don't really. They just don't care about it a lot. And, and a lot of people, even if they're flat earthers, they'll or I'll see those memes floating around that says, it'll show a picture of Bigfoot and a picture of the globe, as if the Bigfoot is as fake as the globe.
I know. That's funny.
And it's like, man, you guys are missing the point.
Someone said something in the chat. Said, my mom had cancer and took part in a clinical trial. She didn't live more than a few years after that. And they said, Annie D says, yes, Harmon. I don't know what I missed on the chat on that. Anyway, one last thing. That guy said about the reindeer eating the mushrooms. Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. It's those red and white mushrooms, those Christmas mushrooms we call them or whatever. Yeah. I think they're called something muscular.
Amanita muscaria.
Yeah. And up in Norwegian, that's where I guess originally those mushrooms are from, and now they've pretty much been spread out through the world. But yeah, that's what the reindeer, it says it doesn't affect them, and then some people say, well, they are high all the time. But they love eating those. In the wintertime, they'll dig for those and make spot for them to grow when spring comes. And they eat the heck out of them. There's lots of videos of those eating those mushrooms. They love those mushrooms.
Huh, that's funny.
And if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get on YouTube and look, and you'll see the reindeer eating them. They video them. It's not like uncommon.
Yeah.
But I heard those mushrooms. I've never even gotten high in my life. I never even drank. I've never even drank nothing in my life, any alcohol. But it's weird. I've always been tempted. If I tried anything, it would be a mushroom, I think.
Yeah, I love mushrooms.
Yeah, I don't. My one roommate, he did a mushroom one time, but he curled in a ball and started crying. So I said, okay. I'm not going to do that one. I think he took too much. But he was literally, and we had to call his mom, and we picked him up, and he was like still in the ball, and we put him in the back seat of her car, and she took him away. But that was wild. I don't know what kind he took. But those right there, those red and white ones, those really interest me. Do you know anything about those?
Muscaria. A little bit. I only know what I have watched videos about and stuff, but they're supposedly they're extremely healing, like they're really medicinal. Although I don't know how much to eat or anything like that, or what you can use it for. It's something I would have to look more into, but I've heard some people talking about it.
Yeah, I watched. I got into it for about 2 months, just watching them. And if there's any around, I don't know. I'm just too afraid. That's my problem. And if you go into it afraid, I'm just worried that might counteract what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to be good. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. Your state of mind really does dictate how your psychedelic experience is going to go. I personally have never had a bad experience. That's just me, but I've seen people have really, really bad experiences or bad trips, and the only deciding factor would have to be their mental place or where they're at, you know, when they took the psychedelic drug, whatever it was.
Like that ayahuasca, they said if you go there with a bad frame of mind and stuff like that, they said that's not good. They tried to put you in a good frame of mind before you do the ayahuasca.
Right.
That's what I've understood.
Right.
And I was thinking the same with these mushrooms. And this guy, Awesome Austin, says shrooms are amazing. My wife and I did some. Where'd it go? Did some for the first time up in the mountains last weekend, and it's amazing. He said. It's
Oh,
in your
yeah.
chat on rock.
Yeah, they're
He just
fun.
said that.
Anytime I've taken them, I just was like laughing and just having a good old time. Like everything was great. I laugh a lot on mushrooms.
So it's and too much, I'm sure, right? Just like anything.
Yeah, well, you can take what's called a heroic dose. I don't know if you can. I don't, which is like supposed to send you like on a really super, super hardcore trip. But yeah, you could just take a little bit and microdose and see how it affects you. And it might just make you feel good. A lot of people will treat depression with psychedelic mushrooms by microdosing psychedelic mushrooms. And it works better than that Prozac, pharmaceutical bullshit.
Trust me, pharmaceuticals, I can't, it's just the cartel. That's their own drug agency. I understand. There's nothing man-made that can do anything nature does. They can't make it. They can't reproduce anything in nature.
No, they try
They
to.
can't.
Right, because anything in nature is going to have, the frequency and the energy and the divinity, the divine spark of source, right? Of source creation. So if they take that and they synthesize it, they're putting whatever their intent and their energy is into those synthesized drugs. So I think you're really taking a big chance when you start taking those pharmaceutical drugs. And I know a lot of people feel like they don't have a choice or, whatever, but I would try to stay away from that stuff at all costs.
Oh, yeah, well, just zero. I haven't gone to the doctor in years. I don't go. I just don't. And that's just me. I've always been bad about that. Now, when I was in the military for 9 years, and I was over in Turkey for 4 years and 4.5 years, they gave us a shot. We're like 10 cushions over there. I wish I'd have known now. Oh, my gosh. They gave us this one. It was a green serum. I mean, it was literally green. And it would go into your arm, and they have to shoot it into you really slow. It's called Globaglugen or something like that. And you literally had to, it took probably a good part of 45 seconds to put the injection into your arm as they slowly push it in. And when it went in, it felt like the fist was inside you. And they said, it's okay. And they had us all sitting down there for a couple hours after we took it. They made every GI on the whole base take it. have no idea what it was for. It's amazing what they give you in the military.
Oh, I know. I've heard all the stories. You don't by any chance have any lumps left over in your arms from where they shot you up with stuff, do you?
Well, no, I don't think I have any lumps. I got out in 1989. So, but I have nothing left of it. But they sure gave enough shots, and that one was the worst though. It really hurt, and it was green. I mean, this shit was green.
That's crazy.
You know? It looked like fun. Yeah, but that's what they get. Who knows what they were experimenting on us with?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Who knows? So who knows? Like, I might have one of those delayed reactions. I'm waiting just to wake up dead one day, you know?
Well, if you're dead, you're not going to wake up.
No, it's a joke.
Okay.
It was a joke. Wake up dead.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, you know, who knows? Yeah. It sucks.
Well, a lot of times my jokes require courtesy laughs, okay?
Okay. Well, it sounds like, though, that have you been trying to detox yourself? Because if you detox, your body could probably get rid of most of that stuff. The human body's really good at getting rid of stuff.
I was raised Mormon, right? And we're taught to fast. It's always our whole, once a month, we always fasted as part of the religion. Mm-hmm. Of course, I'm out of it for 30 years now, but back then, you know, they did, you know, some religions do some good things, you know. And when I was over in the Middle East, they fast every year, you know, and all these places, the Jewish people fast. Fasting's in everything, and it's part of a religious ceremony for this healing and stuff. So I don't know if that helped me through the years. So I've fasted a lot up until I was 22. Then, as we call it fasting, I just say cleansing ourselves. I like to just say cleanse by not eating. The most I've gone is 4 days without eating anything. And that was before it became this craze. But is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I consider fasting one of the best ways to detox, because one of the best things you can do is just stop taking in toxins. Right.
I did, and I eat bad. I eat cupcakes. I eat anything sugar in it. I'm a terrible eater. And this December, and now I knew what it was. You could tell, now that you know what your body's doing, now you know to help it. So I literally, you know, I mean, I didn't eat for, I guess I did. I went like 7-8 days. During that time, I said, I'm not going to eat. I'm going to let my body heal. And once it healed, boy, it was so much better than trying to put cough syrup in you and putting all these antihistamines and all this stuff, you know. I just let the body do its thing. And I felt like crap, and I didn't eat. I just drank water. I didn't drink any Gatorades or anything like that, just water, and it's distilled water, bad. So you know what? And once I was healed, you know, but in that time, I weighed 285, and the time it was over with, I weighed 267. So I lost almost 20 pounds in that 12 days.
Wow.
So now, but I felt so great. But I'm doing good. I'm putting the weight right back on. So I was actually thinking about tomorrow, try to do like 4 days again and get my body cleaned out, because I don't want it to detox itself. I'd like to help it, you know, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like detox before it gets so built up that it forces a detox and you feel sick.
Yes. Isn't that so cool to know that information now? Mm-hmm. That's just as cool in the flat earth, you know, that to know, get us back into nature, you know. Do you think our pineal gland is calciumized, or is that just people talking? Calcified?
Yeah. No, it could be. But there's ways to decalcify it, and I feel like the cleaner you eat and once you stop drinking fluoride and all that stuff, like over the years, I've had, you know, periods of time where I felt a certain way, and like, if for me personally, I feel like it was because my pineal gland was being decalcified. Like, you know, you have certain realizations, you have come to certain understandings, and to me it's like, wow, I feel like there's certain things that you can't see unless you clean out your antenna, your receptor. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be receiving that signal.
What's the word I would say? Your pineal gland was being active. It was actified or whatever. It was being used again because you were letting it do its job. You giving it freedom or whatever. I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Right? You ate clean. You fasted and the stuff. I'm not saying in meditation and stuff. I don't know how much that stuff works, but because what's one of the main experiences you had that you knew that it got through your pineal gland and something came through the ether to you that you knew something happened? What's one of your main experiences?
Well, I don't know. I can't really pinpoint it as a specific experience. It's just like, I don't know. I can't really explain it. I don't really know how to explain it. I just can't. It's just when things change, like when my outlook was changing on certain things, I just, you know, it was, or like certain things that used to really bother me just suddenly didn't anymore, or I don't know, something like that. I can't really give you a specific example, but
okay, I'll give you one example. So like, I was thinking about it a lot. I said, okay, how does ether work? How does, like, I was playing golf, and there were some ducks between me and the hole. I was 150 yards out. About 60 yards out was a bunch of ducks. And my one friend hit a great shot right over them. They didn't even flinch. I got up, and I hit what you call a blade, like a ground shot. And before that ball just almost left my club, those ducks were moving. They already knew that ball was coming at them. So I said, well, that had to communicate through the ether. You know, somehow something communicated to them. So then I took it to another level. I thought, you know how we're always taught in the ocean, they drop one drop of blood, and sharks, they say 30 miles away can smell it, and they come to it and stuff. You've heard that story?
Yeah.
Well, I started thinking, I said, that's bullshit. Because we know the ether has a communication property, and there's really nothing different between the ether and the water except for the density. And so, so I think a shark nearby communicates and sends out a signal through their ether, through their water, through their from their medium, which is the water. Just like the whales can talk, they say hundreds of miles away, right? Mm-hmm. They hear their. So that's the same thing through the ether. We just don't know how to use that as humans as much. So what happened to me one time, and I'm not fasting. This is way back in 2000, and this is like 1998 or 2000. Mm-hmm. I saw a flash of a person. I was at work, and they were coming to work, and they got stopped by a cop on the way to work and got a ticket. Well, I was at work, and that whole picture flashed in my head right there, and I said, what the heck? And when that person came to relief, I said, did you get a ticket this morning? Someone told you. I said, no. I said, I saw it. I said, I tried to explain it to them, and they said, well, you're stupid. Well, what happened was that picture I saw in my head, I can still see it today. I would say the word omnipotent. I could see the bottom of the car. I could see the inside of the car. I could see the reflection of the person in their mirror. I could see the cop behind them. There was like a whole picture you could see. You could see the whole thing at once. I could even see the gas station. It was back behind them. But that probably didn't last more than a second that I saw the picture, but it was like you could see everything. So I think that's communication through the ether. It had to be the ether. Now that I thought and learned about it later. What do you think?
Oh yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That's what that is. That's like that's what remote viewing is. Right? Kind of like, sounds like you did like some remote viewing.
But didn't mean to, you know, I mean, why would it be connected like that? Why? And it seemed like, and I've heard the stories now, and you know what it seems like? And these people who sit there and just try to focus in on the remote viewing and get it, I don't know how much that is true, but I think one of the story I'll add to this. There was a lady in Texas when I was over there. She It was like 1 in the afternoon. All of a sudden, she come running out of the house and ran down 3 houses down. Her daughter was over there with their friends swimming, and she was drowning in the pool. The mother was asleep up in the afternoon taking a nap, woke up, ran, and saved her daughter. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm thinking it's triggered by fear, stress, danger. Is that possible, a stronger one that could trigger the working through the ether for us if our penile glands calcified?
I don't know. I would think that fear or stress would make it harder to interpret signals rather than make it easier. But it could, it could just be that the signal was so strong you picked it up.
And it sends off stuff, and the other animals that prey off of it, they know which one's injured, they know which one's hurt, not just by seeing it, it's by what the rabbit's putting off or whatever is injured. They hone in on that.
Yeah.
So you think they're reading that through? I think they read that through the ether.
Oh yeah, they read that through the ether, and also that's basically interspecies telepathic communication, which I think that does happen. If you've ever looked at animal communication, like that's something I've talked about too a lot in the past with Anna Breitenbach and a lot of other animal communicators, where people can communicate telepathically with other animal species. Just about any species. You just have to learn how to do it and be open to receive that signal. And they give classes on it and everything. But I also think that other animals, if we can do that with other animals and they can do it with us, well, then they could do that with each other as well. You know, right? Because a cat can't meow and have a dog understand it, right? But they all get, you can see animals interacting and they somehow understand each other. That's what they're doing,
exactly.
Right? They're
know when you're coming home early. And how's it sense it? And it knows you're already there before you're there, right?
Yeah. My dog knows when Ted's going to be home.
You go. So and if he can, it does it at a set time, or he can come. He feels it whenever he's supposed to be there.
Whenever. It seems like sometimes, because Ted will get home early, and sometimes the dog, is just like he'll come in here and look at me, and then I'll hear Ted's car pull up the driveway.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, and the same thing with animals and like earthquakes and stuff. We
have that ability too. I think they've taken away from us with all the vaccines and everything. I think everything has blocked our communication.
Well, yeah, that's why they poison us and our environment so much, so that we don't work the way that we're supposed to. So nothing works the way that we're supposed to, And we are in a physical world. We're in a physical world, so the physical affects how things work for us. And they know that.
All right. Well, I took up enough of your time. I just wanted to talk about those few subjects.
All right. Well, thanks for calling, Harmon.
You take care.
Okay, you too. All right. Well, that was all over the place. Oh, cheers, Rachel. Have fun. All right. Wow, it's already 12:30. Haha. Oh, let's see. New caller. Let's see. Thank you for calling Coffee Talk. You're on with Karen.
Hi, Karen. It's Annie D.
Hi, Annie D.
How's it going?
Great. How are you? What's up?
Good. I just wanted to bring up this, since you were already talking about the Amanita muscaria, I wanted to bring up the connection between Santa Claus and the Amanita, because when you look at what he's wearing red and white, just like the mushroom. Mm-hmm. He has reindeer, and actually it comes from a mythology, like it's early Germanic and Siberian tribes. So when you think about the properties of the mushroom that he's going to be flying out, over the flying, and it's also called fly agaric, the Amanita is. And they grow under pine trees, which is another Christmas connection. Then if you want to, I was just thinking about the elves, and, Terrence McKenna always talked about the machine elves and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, just a lot of different things. And hi, Harmon. I'm just to the south of you, Quail Farms on the Flat Earth map, because I raise a lot of quail and stuff. And anyway, just wanted to bring that up, and I know you probably want to go because you've been on for a long time. But I just wanted to bring that up and say hi. And I got into the tuning forks partially because of you. I've always been into sound healing and stuff, but I got some solfeggio ones and really studying deep into it and learning which frequencies are good for what ailments and things like that.
Oh, yeah? How are you liking that?
I like it a lot. It seems to help me. I just I pick the ones that I'm really, if I'm having an issue with something, like if I need more confidence or if I'm trying to forgive, I'll grab the 369, and just, I'll go ding, and then I'll just sit there and let the sound just go into my ears, and I just kind of wave it around from side to side. I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm just purely intuitive.
Mm-hmm.
And because I'm kind of going through something right now, and it's highly necessary for me to do some healing from trauma and things like that. And I think everybody is recovering from the trauma of the last 2 years, whether they realize it or not, because of all the stupid COVID nonsense. And so the other thing I'll just mention real quickly, a nice quick health tip, is the thymus thump, which is where you kind of thump your chest a little bit with your closed fist for about 30 seconds or 30 times, and it's supposed to calm you down if you're having anxiety, a series of anxiety attacks or whatever. You can pound on your fist on your chest a little bit, or even just your open hand gently tap.
Yep.
And it helps. So anyway, I just thought I'd throw that out there, and I'll call back some other time and have a good long chat. And I look forward to meeting you guys someday when I can actually travel again.
Yeah, that would be great. Well, thank you for calling.
Take care, and shout out to Brian too.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, the thymus thump. That's a thing, too, when I was learning about balancing your chakras and all that stuff with the crystal healing course that I took. There's a thing where you do a thymus thump during the meditations to help with that stuff. Yeah, that's definitely a thing. And I love taking the sonic slider and putting it right in the middle of my forehead so that it's like that vibration is going directly into my pineal gland. Actually, anytime I ever use these things, one of the first things I'll do is do that, give it a whack and stick it right on my third eye. I think it promotes healing. I've heard a lot of people say that when you activate your third eye like that, when you kind of put these vibrations into it, it activates it and it can help promote healing. I love it. I think it feels really good. Anytime before I start using the tuning forks, I'll do that. Om chant draws the negative and the high-pitched bell dispels. Yeah. Harmon is a legend, yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating. Yeah, how the ether works is something that we were completely lied to about to the fact where we were told it didn't even exist, but clearly it does exist. Anybody who's been in this for a few years and has looked at, all the stuff that we've been looking at over the years, it's pretty clear to see that the ether is real, and that it has properties that we don't know about yet because we've been either educated out of it, poisoned out of it, and lied to about it to keep us from knowing how this place really works. So yeah, it is. Oh, I just saw 1, 2, 3, 4, and it just switched to 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is like the original number I used to see all the time before 1111 and all of the stuff that goes along with that. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up. Thank you all for being here with me. I do appreciate everybody joining me for Coffee Talk on Moonday mornings. Moonday morning. See? Even I mess up. I don't want to say that word morning. I keep trying not to say it because I don't want to be in mourning. I want to be in good function. I want to be in high vibration. I don't want to be in mourning. So, okay. Every early light on Moondays, 9:30 in the a.m. Eastern, 6:30 Pacific. So if you get up early on the West Coast, you can join me. But I appreciate y'all being here, and we had a great talk on a variety of subjects today, and that's what I love. That's why I like Coffee Talk, because it could just be about anything, and anybody could bring up anything, and you're always going to learn something. I think I learned quite a few different things today. It's interesting that they are really looking for plasma. Maybe the whole time that they were doing blood transfusion, maybe most of what they wanted was the plasma. You know what? It makes you wonder, like, how much of that was for the plasma. And now they're just like, yeah, we just want the plasma. They're just telling you straight up now. I don't know. Anyway, you're right. Yes. Hi, Voynick. Yes, thank you for being here. Thanks for joining. Holographic Moon, check it out. Oh, yeah, I watched that video. It's, like, not really much in that video. It's super short. It's like a preview. It's like a promotion for his more in-depth video that he's going to be doing. But before I go, let me just remind you all that Flattoberfest 2022 is going to be going on this year. It is happening. We have lots of cool stuff in store for you. It is 3 days, October 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. The 22nd and the 23rd are the days that the event will be happening. The event will be happening inside the actual speakers and live music. And the 21st, we have a meetup all day at the park across the street from the venue at Herdclots Park. If you go to my website, flatearthfestivals.com, you can see under events, Flattoberfest 2022. And here there's a plan, who will be there, hotel info, and buy tickets. So the plan, as I have it set right now, this is subject to change these 2 days here. But October 21st, meet up at Herdclots Park, early registration, and you also get to hang out with everybody. We'll be socializing. Dr. Law will be there with his walk, cooking food, and then also Friday night we'll be having karaoke at the Shrine Club bar the night before the event, and the event will be the 22nd and the 23rd inside the Greenville Shrine Club Event Center. And we have the event center from noon till midnight, so we get long days at the event center. I love it. They give us lots of time, lots of freedom, and it is absolutely cool. One of the coolest venues yet that I've used. So we have that going on. What we have so far, let's see. Participants. You can go and see who's going to be there. Ben Balderson, Mark Sargent, Mike Williams, Jason Lindgren, Chief Crow and the Flat Earthworms, One Big Love, Zach and Cami with How the World Works exhibit. And then, of course, I'm going to have some flat earth vendors, so you will get to, you know, come and support them and buy some products from them and support your local flat earthers, because that's what this is all about. Meeting your people in real life, making friends, new lifelong friends, because we all know that the friends that we used to have just aren't the same anymore, especially after the last 2 years. As if flat earth didn't make it hard enough, now a bunch of our friends think that the air is lava and that there's mini microbes trying to kill us all. So, you know, come hang out with us at Flattoberfest. I'm gonna play my, let me play my, my promo here. So, that's it. Thanks all for being here. I hope to see you all at Flattoberfest. And in the meantime, you can join me here on Mondays. Tomorrow night, I'll be back with Tuesday. Mr. Mark Sargent and I will be doing Strange World as usual. And Thursdays, I have Unveiling This Realm with Brian Staveley. And Saturdays, I have Anti-Religious Scripture Study with Just Jack. But for now, Flattoberfest, y'all. Don't forget, save the date.
People that have functioning brains who aren't afraid to show their beautiful faces.
And for those who wish to send me stuff through snail mail, you can use P.O. Box 10, Earl, North Carolina, 28038. Also, links below for donations and merch if you are interested in that. Anything at all is greatly appreciated. I do appreciate the support. Thank you very much. Also, please go to flatearthfestivals.com for all information about Flattoberfest 2021 and other Flat Earth Festival events. You can email me about Flat Earth Festivals at flatearthfestivals@protonmail.com, and for everything else, you can email me at karenbfe@protonmail.com. Thank you for being here.